You're loud and clear. Okay.
Okay, friends. Well, what a marvelous day, and lovely music to bring us complete our sharings for this day. And this is a good opportunity now just to reflect on what has really captured the soul today, what has spoken to you, and let us take turns opening our chart or opening our video here and sharing what we've learned from this. In a sense, this is the last day of sharing of these kind of teachings, although we have a wonderful service that will be taking place tomorrow. So, who would like to pick up? Okay. Michael, I'm not seeing too much coming onto my computer.
Yeah, I didn't see any hands yet, but maybe you could just roll dice and whatever the number comes, I'll just pick that person in the list.
Okay, good. Good, good. Well, let me say one thing.
Joanna was on the screen,
Oh, good.
but
Somebody's help. Yeah. Who's up now? Yeah.
I didn't raise my hand.
okay, I just saw your picture.
Okay, thanks.
Well, I can start just by saying, I want to say a couple of things, but one thing right now is um, the music that we had playing earlier with Harold Moses. Harold's been doing this ever since we began to work together as a conference, and we're always encouraging him to play the music, both as a way to bridge between one talk and another, but also to bring those energies present. And I was just reminded, Harold, of not only the work that you're doing, but it made me think, how much have I been going into the music that I've known for over the years? I've had gone through some inner process I'm still working with, I think, in terms of my own body. But I college, I was a part of a singing group, and I loved to sing. It was the joy to sing. So watching you do what you do, I mean, just watching you this time, not just listening to it, it was so um, involving, so drawing forth. I just was thrilled by thrilled is even in the word. I felt fulfilled listening to what you were doing, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to have to begin to get back into some kind of singing. That's a small takeaway, but what you did this morning, Harold, was, and I'm glad you had the time to do it and bring us into the world of the music that we can use to continue to evolve ourselves as souls. Wonderful work. Okay, so you're raising your thumb. Okay, good. Okay, Rose is up here now then. See another hand. Good.
Hi, I just want to second what you said, Sheldon, about Harold's presentation. The music really just helps unite the whole soul group and just into this one. It just really like awakened the open heart that was already there, but it just fused everybody on the same level and the same vibratory wavelength. It was just this it just created this chalice for the inflow of that group heart to just flow through everyone. And it was so powerful. I mean, it just the whole group itself and is just, I'm sorry, I mean, it's just so moving. And it's really, it's really an honor and privilege to be participatory in that type of group.
Oh, thank you, Rose. You brought us into it, Harold. It was long enough and strong enough. I felt like I joined one of your choirs without singing, of course, but it, it was just very powerful. Thank you. I see a hand, Helena. Yes.
Well, I just want to build on that since we're on this wave. Um, Somehow your music, Harold, this morning was so integrating, and there was so much love. Love just flowed through the words, your presentation, the idea of the chord. Some of I would, when it comes to music and music being present, I go into my right brain, and then I have to literally consciously come back to my left brain to understand what was just said. So sometimes I wouldn't do that, and I just stayed with the energy flows, the energy behind the words and the thoughts, the vibrational, I would say, planes from which you were speaking. It just was like a living, I don't know, a living orchestra, a living offering. And it just was so beautiful. And I have to say thank you. And you kind of gave us some marital counseling here too. With you know,
Moving from dissonance to consonance.
yes. It's what the beautiful way that you and Laura sing, like, with well, it's time to do the vacuuming, so I thought immediately of ways that I can relate better. It was great. I must say I also miss, this was one thing that you and Michael just brought so much to the conferences in that way. And when we were having classes in Rancho Santa Fe, all those years of study, these long hours of study with Michael Robbins, in the afternoons, when we would be, right after lunch or whatever, we'd be the sleepiest. That's when he broke us out into practicing rituals and singing songs, like 14 different songs. Of course, Michael did everything in extremes, and I used to say to him, Michael, this was wonderful, but it would have been even better if we stayed with 8 songs instead of 14. Anyway, there was this kind of standing thing, but it was always it just having that sound vibration running through and harmonizing and taking us out of our left brain. So I just want to thank you for all that you offered today. Thank you. Yeah.
And the Grey Lord's ritual is 8 songs. So listen to
All right.
Good to know. It's a good number too, in many ways. Thank you. Thank you. Francis, yes, please. You're muted. You're still muted, Francis. Yep. I do the same thing.
Sorry, I hit
Yep.
one button instead of 2. Yes, I want to jump on this bandwagon as well, Harold. I was delighted by a concept you presented, which is that in determining the chord of the heart/soul, that perhaps we would choose it to be, in the broader definition of the word, a dissonant chord, such as a suspended fourth or a flatted third, because it would then show a direction towards resolution in the soul. And I just thought that was a beautiful idea. That one stuck with me.
Wow. Powerful. Thank you, Francis. Susan, yes, please. Susan Gresser. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to widen the view a bit and thank everyone for the last 4 days in the pre-conferences. But speaking of this, it was just wonderful. I mean, I've come the last 2 years, but this year it felt so pulled together. It felt like it really was the soul of the Ray 2 energy through and through for 4 days. And I just want to extend gratitude for all of the effort and work that was put into everyone. And I'm just so grateful that you all exist, and just sending love.
Thank you, Susan. We love you.
Thank you for being with us, Susan. Wonderful, wonderful. I want to add one thing to just a comment about Jose's work. Jose, you're you know, we followed you for a long time, but what you did today was extraordinary. I followed it and I could, you know, work with it, but I just thought all of the work that you've done and the ways that you put it into practice has been was just uniting, was what I want to say. I mean, I can follow that more better. I tend to be more on the love side of things, so I go for a little different approach. But you were masterful, is what I want to say, Jose. It was just wonderful. It was not only well presented, but just so clear. And I think it's a testimony to what we can do when you work with the mind on with these ideas and allow the wisdom to come forth. So thank you for being with us. And
thank you, Sheldon. I'm still recovering from Heidi's session. I'm slowly coming back. I mean, I have seen Heidi for many years now in person and virtually. And this time, yes, she just struck a string in there. So it was wonderful. And yes, I experienced something coming through during the presentation, and it would have not been possible without the group experience, serving as a chalice for those energies. So I really thank you for this opportunity. And again, I haven't been on the chat room because I prefer to concentrate on the talks. But I have been here since the Wednesday when it all began. And I need to show appreciation for all the presentations. They have been great. And something that I did this morning before coming to the meeting, I was reviewing a binder that I haven't seen in years. And I found the brochure that Helena just showed about the 2006 conference, which was the first conference after a hiatus of probably 10 years, which I haven't been in closer contact with Michael. I came back in 2006 and have participated with these conferences since then. I think I only skipped one conference since then. But it was just a coincidence that Helena showed that brochure that I have been missing for many, many years. And just this morning, I opened a binder and found it, and I asked, was I there at that time? And then when I asked, I saw my name there. You say, that was the very first conference when I reunited with the group after several years of being, always being close to Michael, but it was that year that actually I began to participate more directly with this conference and this magnificent group of people. So thank you, and I do go back to the recordings to listen to the conferences to keep learning about those. So thank you, Michael, for the technical work, and Bob and all the technical team putting that together, because I think it's very useful to go back and be able to review. And Heidi, one more thing, the work that you're doing in choosing the lectures by your father to initiate each day is masterful. I mean, the way that they prepare the ground for the rest of us to come after and build up on that. I mean, you're being guided. You're being guided to do that. So I really thank you for doing that. To choose so well those conferences, those pieces of your father's work that keep us working in the same direction. So thank you very much, Heidi.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you.
The reflections, perhaps, either on this day or perhaps on the conference as a whole.
Shelton, I think I'm ready to say something now.
All right. I see that hand. Yes.
Okay. I just can't, I mean, the group doesn't know what the board and Michael and others went through for this particular conference. For some reason, events just kept us from really nailing everything down. We didn't even have a schedule until maybe 2 weeks out, and it was being tweaked right through Wednesday. And to have it be so beautifully received by all of you is just brings tears to my eyes, because it was so heartfelt and so much love. And it really felt like the whole entire 12 days we were being overshadowed by forces higher than ourselves, because it all fit together like a beautiful mosaic, and just beautiful colors and beautiful light and synchronicities of thought. And of course, Heidi dear, you hit the nail on the head. You know, it's so beautifully done. And everyone did that presented, Jose and everyone yesterday, and Michael Linfield, and Francis, and everyone, Helena and Tuya. It was just an amazing event. And to me, it was just a miracle. That's all I can say. It's a miracle. And I thank you for being involved in it. I wouldn't have thanked you 2 weeks ago, but I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanna. Well, Dwayne just put on there. What'd you put it on there, Dwayne? 7th grade disciples or what? That was a sweet little quote in there. Yeah.
They're masters of tweaking, he wrote.
Masters of tweaking. That's what he said. Yeah. Well, I'm not. That's for sure. That it's a known fact by several of us here. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I would also just say that it could be just a function of how long some of us have been at this, but and I think the fact that we have ourselves in this focus of 2024 and 25 as the hierarchy comes near, and then 2025 conference itself, or in the conclave of the hierarchy. Somehow I've been feeling very much the presence of these energies, and I don't want to get into detail, but it just, no matter what I see on television, no matter what goes on, and especially if it's kind of ugly, that is not the last thing that comes through to me, though. I don't know how else to say this, but you can see something awful taking place, or somebody saying, no, we're not going to do that, we're going to do this. But what eventually comes through is the way that some great thoughts and plans for how we need to move together as a world are being shaped. We don't see it yet coming into being, but I am feeling very not positive about how things are going to turn out, but I feel very positive about the positive pressure we are receiving to do what's right for the good of the whole. And when we see that the amount of development that's gone on in training, not only in USRSRI, but meditation amount, the groups, Geneva, Italy, and Darjeeling, all the groups that are doing this kind of work, something is happening to pull together, I think, a sense of thought working together to draw these energies into a place where we can really work for and be effective in the greater good of the whole. So this has been a very unusually, not just nurturant, but for me, showing what can lie ahead, and wonderful participation. Anyone else care to say something? 2 participants raised their hand. Okay. Oh, well, let me do Maria Christina, then we'll go back to Rose for a second. Maria Christina. Yeah. Okay. See your hand.
Tears have been shed. Throughout this conference, I've wept and felt great joy as well. And very succinctly, what I take with me at the very moment, besides the need to process, I guess, encompass so much, is 2 thoughts. One, I think, one from Jose Becerra's presentation on the 3-year cycles, that this year is one of serene expectancy.
Mm.
And Heidi,
Mm.
decide to stay. Okay, fine. Born here for a reason. To this very spot where we each find ourselves. We radiate. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria Christina. Beautiful. Rose, another thought, perhaps?
Well, I just wanted to also say how this conference just really imbued the embodiment of these qualities that we're talking about. There was just a greater degree of embodiment of this unity, of this love, and this openness in the heart. And it's hard to do that when you're working with the mind and the theoretical and the concepts, but somehow with that put together with the quality behind it, Helena's presentation, she had some amazing quotes about, you know, the Christ consciousness and just really tapping into that quality. I think this conference has embodied it more than, I mean, I can't say more than, but it has just so embodied it over Zoom, over the internet, over technology, and it's very magical. And Heidi, oh my gosh, you are just this open, radiant heart on fire that just brings in and embodies for the whole group this powerful, vulnerable love that is really just so evocative of the whole group heart. And just thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Mm. Yes, thank you, Rose. Thank you. Any other hands? Anybody else would like to comment? Okay, well, I want to close with this thought. It's not a thought. There's something I feel very clear in terms of what lies ahead on a large scale. I'm talking about planetary scale, as well as what can happen with this conference and the groups that are all working. I feel such great. I feel this support. I really do. It's an energetic support. So I don't want to get up into detail, but I just feel like, as opposed to worry or concern or wonder, oh my God, how are we going to handle this one? I just feel like all of these things are brought to us, brought to mind, for resolution, for thought, for dealing with some of these issues. And the work that's done by groups like this, they've gotten so extensive and so big, even though the numbers may not be gigantic, the energies are pouring out. This is what DK kept saying, is we need to have groups. Started these groups a long time ago. The groups are at work, and for me personally, I feel the effect, and feel like I'm riding on some kind of a what positive way doesn't quite say it, but there's an energy that's present right now, leading forward for the good, that I feel quite strong and walking on in. Anyway, Ellen, thank you for raising your hand. Yes.
Yes, in Heidi's meditation today, there was a line of, the wider open we are, the more can come. And I feel like, as well, first of all, during this conference, in my meditations, it's like Christ is there immediately. As soon as I'm quiet, he's there. And it's the it's the image from "We Are Here, Lord Maitreya, be with us," that it's that image. But I feel like now with 2025 next on the horizon, that the avatar, the Christ is nearing, the hierarchy is nearing, and we're becoming more open, and that this conference opened us. The ideas, the sublime ideas, the some days I was working through this, so I would just listen to something at the end of the day or on a recording, just pick sort of a little bit at random, or look at some of the PDFs of and every single thing was penetrating. Every idea, every and that's what I've been feeling, that the quality of this conference is always big, but now as we open, there's more coming in, and yeah.
Sorry, just to build on that, thank you so much, Ellen. And we can ride on this sense of what's pouring through. Well, Robin, we may have you close us out with another sharing of your work that goes on as you work with the conference.
Okay, so this is the first one I did today.
Boy, yes.
And this was during Helena. That was everything before Helena, the first one. This one was just Helena, and it felt like it was complete. She had a lot of white on her screen that didn't want to be added, so it stayed. That's Dana's music. The break. This was the also Dana's music in the break, and that's the Blue Rose Sisterhood for the day. I had actually done some more earlier. This was all of the ones from the break until your sharing session. And yeah, this was just the sharing at the end.
Wow.
And I'd just like to say I made lots of notes in the sharing. One of the things, left brain, right brain. I'll hold it up there. No, I can't. I'll hold another one up there. I don't want to see my face looking down. Probably Dana's one. Hold back to back. I'll be able to read off the bottom. Okay, left brain, right brain. I had another realization. I know I said either yesterday or the day before about Alexander's time I was having to read, and of course I was then in the left brain and not in the right brain, so coloring didn't happen. I've had a lot of tears of love and connection and so forth today, just echoing everything that Harold and Heidi and, you know, just all of it. It's just been absolutely so what I would call hosts of miracles. And I will be coloring these mandalas forever. We have the recordings coming, and I will be putting them up and making them. I'll be doing replays and replays and replays and coloring as I go, and I'm quite happy to share the templates I've made, and other people can do the same if they want. Just, you know, get in touch with me. I'll put my email address again if anyone wants. I'm also on WhatsApp. And I'm happy to share the templates. You can print them out and you can color them as well. Some people just really get into it. And this is my connection. I'm not going to be one that's going to be following esoteric astrology and becoming an expert. This is my field of expertise. And I start these by, as I said, I start by balancing this magic square. These are all 11 by 11s I've done for the conference. And they're all imbued with energies and tracking around the different ones, even with the same words of the conference, produces completely different looking templates. And it's just so many miracles, you know, like I started this on a miracle that I had on Leap Day, the 29th of February this year. And it opened up a whole new range of these 11 by 11 squares for me that are so unique and so beautiful and so different. And I'm just so many. I made a square with 108 before I knew that I would be chanting 108 names of Lakshmi. You know, just so many things that have just been miracles associated with it.
Well, thank you so much for your contribution, your sharing with your work. This is beautiful.
It is incredibly powerful. I don't know how much all of you feel it, but I know that in the wider public, very few do. But I suspect that most of you do here. There's very few that won't actually feel it too. I'm just sorry, I'm tearing up a lot as I'm talking to you. I'm just so moved and connected with you all. It's just amazingly beautiful and wonderful. Thank you so much for accepting me.
Thank you. You've communicated many ways.
My ignorance of all of Alice Bailey and all the associated teachings, I'm in awe of everyone else's work in that. But I haven't got a lifetime to take that in.
But you are receiving these energies and putting them into beautiful
exactly
display.
That's exactly it. Thank you. I was about to say that thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful.
I appreciate that I'm appreciated for that and accepted for that and not having to know it all.
All
because
right.
up till now I felt like I was really gonna have to struggle if I was going to be part of this, and I realize now that I'm perfectly okay just doing exactly what I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, folks, I think unless there's anybody else who would like to speak, we're ready to move on and have Tuya begin to close out this session. Is there any last minutes? I think maybe we are ready for that. Well,
Sheldon, can I?
Please. Tuya, yes, of course.
Yeah, I was just wanting us to for a while think about what Kathy was talking about this coming week. We are going to have the new moon in few days. And all these alignments that when we think about the conference, it's so rich. It's hard to keep in one's mind everything what is going on, and you know, it's like that all the time. You would need to have a notebook and write down things, and that so much this interwoven, if I say messages, everyone brings the message from one side of the mountain, and but now thinking about us in this moment in time and space, we are in the energies of the Gemini, and this message what Tibetan has been given us, the importance of that time of the Christ festival time, and now coming the new moon. Goodness me, we have been together already almost coming 2 weeks, and to really trying to understand about this, what happens behind the scenes. I suppose, Kathy, you have gone already, or are you here? Maybe she is not anymore here. Would have been nice to still talk with her. But anyway, just recognizing the coming week, Tuesday, the new moon, and trying to get in, trying to work within the synthesis of the conference, and now focusing. Okay, tomorrow we have the closing. Closing, and by the way, remember, if it is possible for you to dress in white as we are normally doing. In the end, we are opening the videos, and we are going to have the toast. And Dr. Pepper was Michael's favorite. And as I have told many times, that this was his last wish, to have Dr. Pepper and French fries. Very heavenly food, but somehow fits to us to have the humor in life as well. Did you disappear, Sheldon?
I'm here. Just
yeah.
practicing
Just
turning.
emphasizing this importance of the energies, energetic.
Oh yes, yes.
And building up us to that it is not stopping here.
Yeah. This has given us a great push to ride these energies forward and make the highest use that we can. Yeah, thanks. It's a great reminder. Great reminder. Thank you, Tuya.
Yeah. And still, for every single presenter, everyone who was having the music. Oh my gosh, Harold, if you are there, I am now in front of everybody asking you to bring your anthems. Do you remember, Sheldon, the anthems in the beginning of this, when I came? The first conference was 1990, 7, 8. And these wonderful anthems, I have been talking now to Harold maybe 10 years. Do you promise? Is he there?
Oh yeah, he's here. He's here. He's listening to you.
Harold, do you promise now in front of everybody now that when we are having next year 2025 conference, that you will bring your anthems?
Well, I promise that we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anthems.
Yeah, which
Yes,
ones? Yes.
No, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's very easy to do. But there's over a dozen.
Yeah. Did Halina say something? Because they are fantastic.
Oh, I figured. It must have been Laura that said something, but I agree. They're fantastic, and we said so often to Michael, they're one of the best teaching tools he had. Because he really taught.
Let you go, you know.
There is some disturbances.
Yeah, we can override it though. Go ahead, Halina.
I'll just repeat what I said. Is we often said to him, in addition to the fact of having this wonderful music flowing through us, we learned so much about the esoteric teachings through these anthems. He taught the esoteric truths about the signs, for example, through his songs, and it was just such a wonderful way to absorb these truths. And he did it from, how it is. It's a lower expression, and then it goes through the purification stages, and then it goes into the soul stage, and you could see the progression. And it was a powerful way to recognize where people are on the path.
It's wonderful. I just love them. And I remember with Sheldon, do you remember this, when we were singing the heart of the sun, and we were all the time crying there? It's so touching.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, with some of some criers. That's right. Indeed.
One cannot help that. One is crying all the time. Halina talks, Sheldon talks, Heidi talks, Harold sings, and all the time one is crying.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Tears. Yes, indeed. Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow, the white clothes, if you can have, and then Dr. Pepper or something to have the toast in the end.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael Crow, too. Yes, all the work you've done. Yes.
Right. And all the translators, the technical issues there are always, oh my goodness, if we would not have those young people.
And to all of us, I want to say, when we're in person, I will often say this conference, these conferences would not be what they can be without all of you who are present. It's the group energy field, it's your love, it's your presence, it's your conscious attendance, it's the thoughts that you put out. It's all of us doing this together. It is the building of the group field, and it's the chalice that we build as a group that becomes invocatory for the hierarchy to use this group as a chalice of evocation. We invoke and they evoke, but there has to be a chalice, and we're it. So deep gratitude to all of you who have hung in here for all these hours and all these days.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that everyone recognizes that we there are many people who have been coming together many years, and all newcomers welcome. So the group field has started to be built the way that I think we are rehearsed now to the point that we are able to really do something. So tomorrow, when we have the closing ceremony, we will have something that to try really to release such a invocation and demand.
Yeah.
Because this is the last one in the time of the Forerunner.
Yes.
Christ Festival, the last Christ Festival. Very, very remarkable point.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we complete for the day?
I think we are. I'm going to turn it over to Tuya for final benediction.
Well, Anna Puppet, there's something down here. What Anna's saying, whoopsie days, I missed that one, but she has put in her, did you put that up again? Because you were asking for something and it went away fast. This is Anna Papadaki. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll catch something, but yeah. All right, go ahead, Tuya. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Okay, let us all. I have to again share the screen. Where it went. Okay, now it's better. And again, I just have a deep breath and just let go. Everything. Now find your way to the inner sacred place of the group. Our chapel, and go to your place in your host. Reflect the experiences that you have had. Imagine how you are sitting in the light of the soul as your brothers and sisters, and reflect the meaning. What is the meaning of coming together? And the deeper you go, your consciousness is rising. Merging with the soul of the group. Say, go within and know that I am God. Almost 2 weeks ago. And the group has worked. Recognize the vibration of the hierarchy. The whole group is bathing in the light of the hierarchy. Knowing the released energies from Shambhala stimulates the spirit of love. Or brotherhood, sisterhood, and the goodwill on earth. In our hearts, we see the fusion of all men and women of goodwill in the world into an integrated, responsive whole. Reflect in your mind tomorrow. We do a certain ceremony where we are asked to walk, step in to center, and gather there together by all of those who want to express the strong spiritual demand for help for humanity. be sensitive and hear what the soul is whispering. The labor of Hercules is ending there. That Hercules finally learns to serve.